All right, we are back. Fresh takes with Russo and Felice. A day delayed because of the weather. I am Paul Russo. Different hat once again this week. Went beanie this week. I'm a little bit cold.
Yeah, it's nice.
Bit cold, but across from me, as always, Mad Myth, legend himself, Nick Felice. Eventful day for you. How's it going?
Paul, this is a big episode for us, if you don't know. This is our 95th episode on FigureLegs1.com. And what does that mean? That means we did 5 episodes from my den before we got the gig here. So that's 100 episodes of you doing that intro. Hey, everybody, how's it going? And me saying, I'm doing good, Paul. 100 times we've said that now. And that first episode we recorded was on February 5th, 2018, which was nearly 3 years ago to the day. It would be on Friday, 3 years ago. We recorded that first ever episode from my den. So that's 100 episodes in 156 weeks. So we missed almost over a whole year without doing shows. We're sorry about that, but
Wow.
we're doing our best. And 5 more, and then we're on here for 100 episodes. It's been fun. It's definitely not the end, and that's all I got for the intro.
Courtesy of the pandemic, obviously, with 2020.
Yeah, and I wanted to get on a good note because bad note as a Pirates fan. Seeing the Rays.
You guys definitely lost that trade now, officially.
As terrible as the Rays are, they got us. They took all our best prospects.
They took the guy they traded.
But that's the old GM. We got a new GM. Cleaning up all the mess.
Y'all need a new owner.
Well, that ain't happening.
No.
New owner ain't happening.
I might be giving that guy money, unfortunately.
Well, no.
I know. I hate myself for it. Hey, this is going to be a really fun episode for us. Typically, these are some of our funner ones we get to have. All things Super Bowl. Talk about our, obviously, the game itself. What our favorite props are, fun stuff like that. The pulp culture side of things. Then we'll obviously just give predictions what we think is going to happen, because this is going to be a tough one, I think, to predict. I don't want to get too far ahead, but this is kind of, one of the ones that personally for me is a bit tough, to predict. It goes against my betting philosophy, if you will. Never bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs, and just don't bet against underdogs.
Valentine's Day.
Next weekend.
Yep.
So.
And if anybody cares, the Australian Open is on right after the Super Bowl ends. Just saying.
Yeah. I know the tennis player, so I follow Lauren Davis, who is a women's tennis player from America here. I follow her on Instagram. They are finally free of quarantine, the ones who've had to come from out of the country. So
really? That's nice.
They're getting going. They're about to rev up. Kind of, it's weird. This time of year, you get like racing back in. You get the Australian Open. I don't know why I wanted to call it the U.S. Open for whatever reason just now in my head. But you get those couple going, and I think the Phoenix Open for golf is coming up too.
It's always Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, so kind of like a little bit of like the turn of the seasons in a way. Kind of get that feel of it for me.
We're starting to get our schedules back normal a little bit.
But
baseball should definitely be on track.
Yeah,
players didn't want it to be, but
no, the players wanted it to be. The owners in Manford didn't want it to be. It's another mess. Like before we jump into it, obviously we've said this. I don't know how many times in the past year. The next CBA, there's gonna be a strike. This is about as ugly as it's gonna get, the way it is right now. So
that's another pod.
Yeah. Luckily, Nelly Cruz re-signed with the Twins, so no universal DH. I don't think this year, but apparently we were close to having Nelly Cruz as a LA Dodger. Could you imagine that? That's some weird stuff.
I can't imagine.
Almost as weird as Felix Hernandez as a Baltimore Oriole.
That's where he belongs.
Yeah. Wow. Matt, I do not endorse what Nick just said. I will forever remember Felix Hernandez as his true team, a legend of the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, he had a great run.
All right, let's jump right into it. Super Bowl 55, Chiefs at the Buccaneers, quite literally and figuratively. Super Bowl 55, Nick. It's kind of crazy that when you think about it, Nick, we've almost been around for half of these things now.
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
about
55. First one I saw was probably around 39.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe that you remember.
Oh, that I remember.
But we've been around since like Super Bowl 25.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah, I mean being born. Yeah,
around Super. No, it's a little after Super Bowl 25. But it's pretty crazy. We've been around for a lot of these now. We've seen a lot of game. But this is going to be a really interesting Super Bowl. I'd like to think this one's probably going to be the most exciting in recent years. We've kind of, the past couple, not to say, like the collapses, unfortunately, that we've seen within the past 5 years or so and the late eggs that we've had. Not saying that they've been, bad games. I mean, hey, things have happened with entertainment purposes only that have benefited me and Pat, my brother, really well. But, they're not the best aesthetically to watch. So we have a bit of a COVID situation already with the Chiefs. Their backup center and third stringer Robinson, wide receiver, more than I don't want to say more than likely they'll miss the game because technically they should miss the game. But I guess if they test negative a couple times, they can play, which, whatever. And then they're going up, obviously, against the Buccaneers. Everything going good over there, to my knowledge, health-wise. Playoff Lenny in full effect, hopefully. Nick, I'll toss it to you first. Just from an overall standpoint, how do you feel about this game? Play like watching it like fan-wise and like analyzing it wise. What are your thoughts kind of going into it initially?
It's going to be a great game because I don't remember any Tom Brady Super Bowl that wasn't a great game.
That one where it was like 20 whatever to 20 whatever was not fun to watch.
No. The
lowest scoring Super Bowl ever, whatever it was. I don't know.
Yeah. I did enjoy the Giants one.
Yeah. Well, that's over like a decade now almost, right?
Yeah. Super Bowl 42. It was like
13, that is over a decade now.
13 years ago now. And the second one was almost a decade. But
yeah.
I will be rooting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game.
Well, don't go into your deep predictions yet. That's for later on. But
yeah. I'll just say the reason why for that is because I am a New York Giants fan, and every time Brady wins a Super Bowl, the legacy of him keeps going up and up and up, and then Eli Manning still has those 2 Super Bowls against him. Wish Nick Foles didn't beat him, but whatever. But this game's going to be interesting. Obviously, you think the Chiefs will win this game, and they've been the best team all year. But this Tampa Bay team has definitely come around. They played a lot better of late. When they beat the Saints, then I started really taking a second look at them. I thought the Saints might walk over them again like they did in the regular season. When they beat them, and then they beat Green Bay, it's been an unbelievable run for Tom Brady. I said it last podcast. I said, him coming to the worst winning franchise of all time, getting to the Super Bowl, hosting the first ever Super Bowl after he already had the first overtime game in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. He's just writing all this history. And one thing I will say, did you hear what Tony Romo said?
No.
About Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, God.
He said, if Patrick Mahomes doesn't win this game, he will never be considered the GOAT. Which is... Some people say that's crazy. I agree with them. I think
this is only his third full year.
Yeah, but he's going to have to be considered against Tom Brady.
I mean, I guess because now I know. I did see that because this was this the same interview with him
I think so.
Where he said if Brady wins, this like cements him as the GOAT or whatever. Yeah,
probably the same interview, but I agree with him. I think if Patrick Mahomes doesn't win this, he will never be the GOAT because you have Tom Brady, and we think at the end of his career, we think Tom Brady's at the end.
I mean, either way, yeah. I mean, technically, he's not in the first half of his career, I don't think.
I hope he made it to the halfway point of his career. But anyway, a 40-year-old Tom Brady, I mean, yeah, the team's good. It's a team game, but him losing this game is definitely going to go against him even if he wins 5 more Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. It's going to go against him. He lost that one to Brady. And you know what? He might get another chance at him next year. It might be the same two teams next year. You never know. You don't see that in the NFL like you do in the NBA.
Very often, anyway.
Yeah, you don't see that. But this AFC's been pretty...
I'm trying to think, what the last time there was back-to-back, would it have been the Bills and the Cowboys, possibly?
Think so. That's the only one I could think of, to be honest. Chiefs-Packers, maybe Super Bowl 2 and 3?
Well, Chiefs-Packers, but I'm talking the last time, though.
Yeah.
Chiefs-Packers were 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think it is Cowboys then.
I can't think of any other.
No. Yeah, no, that's it.
We've seen one team get back a couple times, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon for teams to go, at least in each league, go, back-to-back runs to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously the Patriots have done it. Denver's done it.
Seattle's done it. Kansas City's not done it.
I mean, respectively, going back in the day, the Giants have done it. The Washington football team have done it.
Kansas City has done it.
Kansas City done it, yeah. So, 49ers have done it. So, yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon. It's definitely not like it's this uncommon deal, but it's certainly rare that the same matchup happens back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think you can't assume that the same matchup's going to happen back to back. So he's got to go out there and he's got to go beat Brady, and with a Super Bowl win over Brady this week, he's got to. I think I'll call it. He controls his own destiny to being the GOAT if he wins this week against Tom Brady. That's how I look at it, and I agree with Tony Romo. Never thought I'd say that, but I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think we're gonna see some touchdowns. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Super Bowl's always a great time. Good food.
Mm-hmm.
You bring cookies?
I am bringing the Wegmans cookies again.
They're the best.
The best. I gotta say, like, this is why, like, I love your family. I consider them like kind of like my second family in a way. Like, so I've been going to your house now, outside of, if I don't count the 4 years at college, probably like at least 10 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And like every time, like I want to bring something. Like, you guys like are always great hosts. You always have a fantastic spread. Your mom's buffalo chicken wing dip is seriously the freaking best. And that taco dip. Well, isn't that Mrs. Mall's? That's Mrs. Mall's taco dip. Yeah. But, I mean, either way, like, it's just a great spread. And, like, I remember, like, the first year about cookies, I got yelled at. And probably justifiably so. But now it's my thing. Like, I don't ask anymore. I just grab them. And, look, the Felice house, fun time for the Super Bowl. I love it.
You don't even knock anymore. You just walk in.
Well, that's been that way for years because I forgot who told me. It's like, yeah, just walk in at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
and I can confirm Carly Mall will be there this Sunday.
All right.
She got 2 vaccination shots.
Good.
She's good to go.
Good. But, like, yeah, I mean, it's a fun time. I like it.
Yeah, some memorable Super Bowls. I remember one. Didn't you lose something that Falcons won?
Yes.
You lost a lot of money that day.
Well, I didn't lose a lot of money,
but you could have won big that day. I remember that.
I remember.
You and Pat won a quarter one time. I remember that.
That was. So me and Pat tend to win entertainment purposes only, because that portion of it's obviously frowned upon in New York State. Have won like every other year in some way, shape, or form on squares for entertainment purposes only, of course. Mm-hmm. So this is a odd year, as we call it, kind of like the Giants with baseball back in the day were even years when they won. Well, me and Pat do pretty well on the odd years, so fingers crossed. We'll see, but yeah. But it's a fun time. I want to talk quickly about some X factors about this game. If you have any, we can jump in first.
No, go right ahead.
All right, so it's going to be interesting. I want to kind of start with Kansas City's run game, specifically Clyde Edwards-Helaire with him being healthy again. Going to be interesting to see what they kind of do with him. They're going to probably have Le'Veon, I think, available at the very least. I'm guessing Le'Veon will be their guy that they use in the pass game more or less at this point. Now, obviously, they have Williams to be kind of like their third down guy if you need short yardage still. So I think Clyde is going to be a big X factor for the Chiefs. I think he was the guy in the regular season when he was healthy, top 10 fantasy running back, top 10 metric running back in the league, obviously. He's kind of failed them in the pass game-wise during the playoffs when he's been available here the past couple of times. Struggled catching the ball. Kind of been a theme almost across the playoffs. Because even Leonard Fournette, not as bad last week or 2 weeks ago now, but Ronald Jones Jr.'s had that. And Chris Godwin, who I think only had one drop pass all in the regular season, had I think like 5 in the playoffs. Crazy. But Godwin, to me, is a big X factor for the Buccaneers, especially if Mike Evans' knee acts up at all. Didn't have any problems with it in Green Bay, surprisingly. So I think, obviously if he's healthy, certainly thins out what that secondary can do and kind of go from there. And that Buccaneer, I think the defense is too, obviously, no matter what, they're X factors. But that Chiefs defense has certainly shown a lot more signs of bending and not breaking than the Bucs, who have been able to stay fairly more sturdy. Overall. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Bucs D-line have been playing phenomenal. Jason Pierre-Paul all year has played phenomenally well. And then Ndamukong Suh's played really well the second half of the year, coming back from injury. So certainly keep an eye in the trenches.
A lot of big names in that Tampa Bay team.
Yeah.
My X factor, I'm going to go with another receiver on the team, and I don't know if it's a sleeper X factor, but Antonio Brown is going to make the difference
if he's healthy. That's the key.
Is he going to play?
I don't know.
Because he was in the Super Bowl once, I think, right? I think the Rodgers won. He was with the Steelers. They lost. I'm pretty sure he played in that Super Bowl. So, you forget about Antonio Brown and he's been coming on. He's still showing that he could be still a top 5 receiver in this game. And, I like him as a player. He's a little, maybe too much of a distraction off the field, but, he's a hell of a player. And Tom Brady just got he has really good friends who are really good football players. Like, to have Gronkowski and Antonio Brown as your friends, that's pretty cool. To come because they're your friends, but then you get guys like Leonard Fournette.
That reminds me. I'll say it after you get done.
Leonard Fournette, like Sue, all these names are big names, and you get them to play on this team. So it's a loaded team. Definitely a good team. I think. But now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking of another X factor. Keep your train of thought going.
No, trust me, it's funny. If you've already heard it, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm gonna go another X factor. Is another ex Pittsburgh Steeler? How about Le'Veon Bell in this game?
I didn't mention him. That's true.
Yeah, I mean he could have a game. I mean Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a rookie, and we'll see how he does. Damian Williams was the star of last year's Super Bowl, so we'll see if it's another Kansas City Chiefs running back.
Okay, so you brought up the Romo thing from earlier. Mm-hmm. Did you see what Gronk said during his media availability?
No.
So I guess Bruce Arians and the staff at Tampa Bay in preseason, because they obviously couldn't do any OTAs or anything like that with the pandemic, they wanted for, I can't remember if it was like just a week straight up, or it might have been a little bit more than a week, call it like 10 days or whatever, videos of Gronk running, like, so they could see kind of like where he was at physically and everything like that. So Gronk goes, I don't know if this is known, I don't think it is, but he took the videos all in one day, just changed shirts out to make it look like it was a different day each day, and then would just send out the videos as the day would go along, as each day would go. But obviously he only filmed them all in one day.
Really?
A bit of a genius move, honestly, on his part, if I'm being honest.
He's a genius.
Polar bear on a unicycle. Got to give the guy credit.
He's a good time. I always say those are guys I would want to hang out with. Guys I would want to hang out with is Gronk's right up there.
All right, Nick. Let's get into the part we've kind of already mentioned it a little bit. Some bets, stuff like that. Fun bets, fun props.
I was looking at them right here on my phone.
So I'll be honest, I already got one flat bet, a couple props up from Turning Stone, because obviously books vary from place to place no matter where you really go. Here in New York, two ones closest to us with the sport book are obviously Del Lago and Turning Stone. I'll be interested to see how close Tioga is. But
will
that's
Eli
neither
Manning
here.
sign with the Chiefs?
Uh-huh. But the two that I have right now, and they're pretty interesting in my opinion. The one is anyway more than the other. One bet I already have in is Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 30.5 yards rushing. Just take the risk with that, I think. Whatever.
You think he gets
the other? Yes, the other bet I have, and this is an interesting one. A 2-point conversion is converted.
I think so.
Yes or no? I said yes.
What's the favorite?
No is the favorite.
Yeah.
Yes is an underdog bet. I got it at plus 190.
I think there
I
will
got
be.
it at 19. I do too. I just think, and plus I think that it's a really good economic bet overall in the sense.
I think it could be one of those games where Chiefs trying to come back.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, I think you could do it anyway. Not so much if you're coming back, but you're trying to get weird with the way field goals are and everything like that. So, be interesting there.
You got the national anthem on there?
Yes, there is. Eric
singing?
Church, my guy the Chief, Eric Church, is singing, and Jasmine Sullivan is singing as well. The over-under on that is 2 minutes. Again, kind of, I think, the par on that one. So
You bet your boy Eric.
no, they don't have those bets in New York. I haven't found yet.
Wow.
This is the list I have up is courtesy of the Washington Post of who they have, obviously, with that. But yeah, the over-under seems to be 2 minutes in most markets with that.
It's interesting.
I'm going to see the thing with Eric Church is, I like Chief, but he can drag some things out because I not to have a problem with that. Big Eric Church guy. But I mean, that's tough. So do you have anything that you have in yet prop bet wise or
I've
no?
not made any bets yet.
Okay.
I'm just looking at them now.
Okay. So we usually take a look at kind of like the fun stuff. So we obviously have who wins the coin, or not who wins, but what will be the result of the opening coin toss, heads or tails.
What's the favorite?
It doesn't have the favorite up on this list, unfortunately. That one I feel like would just have to be like a 50-50 deal unless there's like deep analytics telling you.
Team to score the longest touchdown: Kansas City minus 150, Tampa Bay plus 130. When you think of longest touchdowns, you think of like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I think of that, but we also had that Scotty Miller deal last weekend.
Longest touchdown in the
ago,
game, over under 44.5. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that is. They do have one up here with that. Longest? Yeah, I'll take the over on that. Screw it. Nick, you know me. Life's too short to take the under.
Total touchdowns in the game, over 6.5. These are interesting. So we got The Weeknd doing the halftime show.
Yes.
I like Blinding Lights. Big fan. He also has another song.
Did you know he put? Actually, I'll save that for what we get to next.
Let's see. Tom Brady.
Old Tim.
Over under 296.5 passing yards. Him throwing over 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
Or throwing 3 touchdowns.
Yes.
Is an underdog.
What about will there be a missed field goal? I feel like yes on that one.
Yeah. I think so. But you never know.
How many Tampa Bay players will have a rushing attempt? Over 3.5. Under 3.5.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta think.
You got Ronald. You have
Fournette,
and you have Tom. Tom's going to have a sneak at some point. That reminds me of another bet out at Lago that they have.
You know what? And I think they're gonna get crazy that.
Yeah,
I
like the over on that.
Yeah, I do too. I think like Mike Evans might get.
So this one's courtesy of Pat Russo.
Really?
He went out there yesterday and was telling me that when he checked over the weekend, they did not have a rushing one for Tom Brady yet. He gets out there yesterday, and there is a Tom Brady rushing prop bet. Tom Brady rushing yards over under half a yard.
Really?
Yep. I think you got to take the over on that. He's always good for one sneak a game.
Yeah, I can't believe that's a thing. I thought it'd be like 3.5, 4.5.
Yeah.
Half. Imagine if he does it and he doesn't get a yard.
absolutely disastrous. Let's take a couple of the other fun ones. Which team will commit the first accepted penalty, for instance? You can bet that.
I like the Gatorade one.
The Gatorade one, yes. That's you have your usual ones, obviously. How many interceptions will be thrown? Over, under 1.5. I think you got to take the over on that, too.
So accepted penalty.
Like I said, I struggled to take the under in anything. Life's too short to take the under.
I hear you. Keep telling people. The accepted penalty, is that who gets the penalty or is that who accepts?
Who commits the first accepted penalty? It's tough. I'd like to know. That's one of those, like, I'd like to know who wins the toss.
Now, Del Lago DraftKings, they still doing only one bet per game?
Yes. That's pretty much the way it is everywhere, though, with this.
Really?
Yeah. Some markets are different. I know some, like out in Vegas, you can prop the same.
Like Turney Stone.
I know
like
no, you can't. I tried.
You been there?
Yes, multiple.
You went there without me?
I was there last weekend. Yes,
I wasn't in town, but
you were bowling. Let's see. Will there be a score in the first 5.5 minutes of game played? Yes or no? It's 5 minutes 30 seconds for the people at home.
No.
Wow.
I think I think we're gonna have a
here is your receiving yards one here. How many receiving yards will Tyreek have? Over, under 90.5 yards. And then Gronk is the other one up on this one. His is 28.5.
Gronk under, Tyreek over.
Okay, I'm with it. I'd like that. All right. Let's get to the pop culture portion of today's show. Pop culture of the Super Bowl. We kind of talk about it a little bit here. We've alluded to it to a degree. Obviously, the anthem being sung by Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan this year. Halftime with The Weeknd. I'm assuming there'll probably be some special guests. The Weeknd. You ready?
Can't forget about the commercials.
We'll get to that. The Weeknd has put in $7 million of his own dollars into this show.
Really?
Yes. Crazy.
He wants it to be a good show.
I guess so.
Is he there?
He will be there, to my knowledge, yeah. To my knowledge, every one of them will be there. I haven't heard otherwise. I'll put it to you that way. Could be wrong, but... So, and then obviously, Nick, you talk about the commercials. Commercials will be different this year. Not a lot, but some companies, notably Anheuser-Busch, who does Budweiser and Bud Light, pulling most of their ads out to support COVID-19 vaccination relief, among obviously other stuff in that realm. So it's going to be a different Super Bowl, commercial-wise and overall. I mean, obviously, Super Bowl is one of the big things for artists to kind of check off their, bucket list type deal to perform in it in some way, shape, or form. I know on CBS before I came in, they had some countdown of the best Super Bowl commercials of the past 20 years or something like that.
What was number one?
I don't know. I left before. Obviously, I left before.
Leaving us on a cliffhanger.
Obviously, this year I'm really excited for Eric Church. I'm a big Eric Church guy. Wanted to go see him in concert last year, but 2020 COVID got in the way. Not looking like 2022 until I'll probably be able to see him, but it is what it is. So I'm excited for Eric Church. I know you're excited for The Weeknd over there. So
I'm not a diehard Weeknd.
You voted for The Weeknd on my Eric Church versus The Weeknd poll. Yes. I have the evidence.
Okay, if you're matching them up, I know I'm a big bracket guy. If you're matching them up,
I have the evidence. I'll see you in court in Pennsylvania.
That doesn't mean I'm a fan of either one. I like them both, nice guys. But, I'm excited for commercials. I'm a big fan of the commercials.
Of course you are.
Yeah, actually, I don't remember watching the game. No, I'm just kidding. But I think you're going to see a lot of movie commercials probably because there was not much movies or television last year. So it's going to be big. There's going to be some funny stuff. Obviously, they're still going to have something funny. That's what people watch. One thing that's great about the Super Bowl is that people who aren't even into football watch the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to check for something real quick.
Go ahead.
You know, I was like, I always wonder like what is on TV when the Super Bowl is not on. But I saw this the other day. Let me see this if it's still on. Yeah, what is this?
Please tell me it's the news.
Actually, the game got canceled, didn't it? It got moved up. Maybe it got moved up. Yes, Cincinnati Tulane did get moved up. It was at like 6 o'clock on Sunday. Now it's at noon. But there's still something, though. Marist St. Peter's. Maybe it's going to get moved up.
Oh, some Marist St. Peter's action, some MEAC
on
action.
Sunday,
Let's go.
It's at 8 p.m.
Oh, no, that's mock action, the Metro Atlantic.
Those poor kids, man. You got to play a game during Super Bowl Sunday, and then California Stanford's on at 10.
Hell yeah, Pac-12 after dark.
Super Bowl might be over by then, but everyone should be playing in the afternoon. I'm good to see that Cincinnati Tulane game got moved up, but that's just like, you always wonder what's on these other channels. Somebody's watching something on TV. You know, there's probably something good on.
True. But
it's a good time. It's a whole day festivity. You know, you get up, you get ready. You know, you got like enjoy the whole afternoon, hang out with friends and family, and then game pops up around 6:30, and then everyone hopes for a day off tomorrow. Most people, some people take it off on Monday, but
I don't. Gotta save my days for something important.
We've talked about this. You like Daytona Day, and there's also MLB Opening Day.
That's true.
And if you're into fantasy football Draft Day. Those are like some of the few that for sports.
I know where this is going.
For sports, that is a holiday. Super Bowl Sunday is obviously the king. Like it's almost that close.
I mean, it's not your king, but
no, your king's Daytona.
Now opening day. There's just something about opening day.
Yeah, but like that is Super Bowl Sunday. I think should be a holiday. I'm gonna start a petition. It should be a holiday. Everyone should have Monday off.
I don't care. The Super Bowl should really be Saturday, but
I think it should be too. I think it should be on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But it's Super Bowl Sunday. It's always been like that. Yeah. And don't get me started on what day a championship game should be on. College.
Everything for them is Monday pretty much, you know.
Yeah. College basketball and football are on Mondays. I don't get that, but it's what it is.
Is there a commercial in particular that you're looking forward to this year? A company one anyway?
It's Bud Light is doing Memories like Geico did last year.
Yeah.
Like the best Geico commercial. I think Bud Light's doing like the best Bud Light commercial. So I think they're going to show a bunch of the old ones.
I'm excited to see what Doritos comes out with. So
Doritos are always good. It's always like one of the first ones they show.
Well, there's a Mila Kunis one with Ashton Kutcher coming
I saw
out,
that one.
which is leaked deliberately, obviously. So
I saw that one actually, on YouTube.
I'm excited for that one to see kind of like the full length version.
Doritos or Cheetos?
It's like the new Cheetos like snack mix thing. So
yeah, I saw that.
Wasn't me. Get Shaggy, my boy Shaggy in there, dude. Shaggy underrated.
Yes, I will say that new Geico commercial with the ice cream.
Yeah.
The song there's.
Oh yeah.
That is.
My.
That is the new top commercial right now.
Tag team back again. Check it to Rick.
I will be excited if the Spectrum Monsters would make a return.
Ooh, yes, dude. It's been a while. I miss the little puppet guy. I miss the
they went away for a little bit, then they made the return, but now they've been gone a while.
They need to come back.
They're gone.
They need to come back.
Yeah,
But that's a different discussion because Spectrum sucks anyway.
Yeah, come on, Spectrum.
All right, Nick. We're going to go to you first. Obviously, it was a little bit of a shorter podcast today, as obviously, we got really one thing to talk about. And we had to shift some things around. But Nick, we head into the final topic. Final predictions. Who do you think will be victorious in Super Bowl 55?
Prediction. I'm going to be rooting for the Buccaneers. But the Kansas City Chiefs will win this Super Bowl. And they are going to win this game 27-23.
Wow.
Patrick Mahomes to Pringle. Don't know his first name. Pringle scores the game-winning touchdown. MVP of the game, Patrick Mahomes.
All right, so a key thing to keep your eye on here, bettors, is the over-under on this because it's dropped down to 56 now. With that in mind, I predict a final score of 35-27. Okay, 35-27. Chiefs are going to be victorious. Super Bowl MVP, Travis Kelce.
Really?
Yep. I'll go with an obvious one. I think I don't think it's going to be one of those years where you get like the rando kind of in there, like Malcolm Smith, for instance, or even last year, right, with Williams. So I'm going to go Kelce. I think Kelce, Kelce might be, that the next evolution of tight end there.
What's the over-under of us getting a blackout during this?
God, hopefully non-existent.
Remember that?
Yeah, unfortunately.
The lights went out?
Yeah. Hopefully.
That was awesome.
That was weird.
The Hardball Bowl.
That was weird because that was a senior of high school for me. Last Super Bowl appearance at the Felice household for me for 4 years. But
I always shout out Cuca Cal. That's when I was in school. I had the longest winter breaks ever.
Yeah, you guys do.
Now it's a week before the Super Bowl. They come back from the winter break. But for the 4 years I was there, we came back from winter break on Super Bowl Sunday every single time. That was strange.
Nutty.
That was strange.
All right, Nick. We've reached obviously the end of the podcast, so we'll go to you. Who are you shouting out this week?
I'm going to shout out our photographer at the Times, Spencer Toulis.
What up?
He's a big Penny and lacrosse guy.
He is a legend around these parts.
Yes, he is a legend. And, sports, the high-risk sports are coming back next week. So he's going to be excited about that. Probably a little disappointed about the spring sports state championships getting canceled today. But
I'm not surprised, though.
His Penny and lacrosse will be back. Big fan. Not that he shows favoritism, but
sounds like he does, at least in your eyes.
He definitely does. What made me think of him today is we went to Penny Ann and we
Where were they? Where were the tennis players committing to? By the way,
the Poland twins are going to Nazareth to be roommates and tennis players.
Way to nail the dismount.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing for me. I came back and I realized my fly was down the whole time.
Okay, I'm going to put the camera on
shout
me.
out Spencer.
All right, everybody. If you haven't already, you should like, share, subscribe to Finger Lakes One on YouTube. Download the app. We'll catch you here next week to recap the Super Bowl, preview NASCAR, and everything else. And wear your masks, people. We'll see you next week.